Have you ever met someone who, even as a teenager or young adult, carried a maturity beyond their years? Someone who seemed older inside. Maybe that's you. You weren't just a child, you were a caretaker, a fixer, the emotional support for others. Today, we're diving into the psychology of children who had to grow up too fast, also known as parentified children. Stick around, because understanding this might just explain a lot about who you are today. Subscribe CTL. If you're into psychology, healing childhood trauma, or understanding human behavior, hit subscribe, because we're going deep today. What does it mean to grow up too fast? Growing up too fast doesn't always mean physical age. It means emotional adulthood came before emotional safety. These children took care of their siblings, comforted emotionally unstable parents, handled responsibilities that weren't theirs, rarely got to just be children. Psychologists call this parentification. Instead of being cared for, the child becomes the caretaker. There are two main forms. 1. Instrumental parentification. The child takes on physical responsibilities like cooking, cleaning, managing finances. 2. Emotional parentification. The child becomes the emotional therapist for a parent or caregiver. What causes this? This often happens in families where a parent is emotionally unavailable, depressed, or addicted. There's divorce or abandonment. There's financial struggle. A parent confides too much in the child. The child is praised for being mature, or the strong one. Sometimes it happens subtly. Maybe a parent always said, "You're the only one I can rely on." And a child hears that and thinks, "If I stop being strong, everything will fall apart." What happens inside their minds? 3:30 to 5 o'clock. A child who grows up too fast develops a psychology based on survival through responsibility. Here are the core beliefs formed. My worth is based on how much I can help others. If I don't hold everything together, everything will fall apart. It's not safe to rely on others. I must rely on myself. Resting or playing equals being lazy. My feelings are less important than others' needs. On the outside, they seem mature, capable, independent. On the inside, they often feel anxious, hypervigilant, emotionally exhausted, and secretly crave to be taken care of, but don't know how to accept it. Adult signs of a child who grew up too fast. As adults, they often become the helper, always fixing others' problems. The overthinker prepares for every worst-case scenario. The perfectionist feels unsafe when not in control. The emotionally unavailable one gives but struggles to receive love. The burnout-prone worker overachieves to feel secure. The people-pleaser avoids conflict to keep peace. They might also struggle to ask for help, feel guilty when relaxing, fear vulnerability or dependence, attract emotionally dependent partners, experience chronic anxiety or emotional numbness. They were trained to fix everyone else, so when it comes to fixing themselves, they feel stuck. The hidden strengths. But let's be clear, their trauma shaped them, but it also gave them powerful strengths. They're deeply empathetic. They're emotionally intelligent. They're responsible and reliable. They can survive hard times. They're intuitive and observant. The goal isn't to erase these strengths, it's to heal the wounds behind them. Healing. How do they grow beyond this? Healing starts with a simple but powerful realization. You deserve to be a child. You deserve support. You still do. Here are healing steps. Recognize emotional labor you were never meant to carry. Learn to say no without guilt. Let yourself rest without feeling like a failure. Practice receiving help, even when it feels uncomfortable. Therapy, especially inner child work and trauma-informed therapy. Reparenting yourself, giving your younger self what they never had. Ask yourself, if I treated myself like a child who once needed care, what would I give them now? Final thoughts. Growing up too fast may have shaped your past, but it doesn't have to define your future. Your value is not what you do for others. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to feel. You are allowed to be cared for. And now, you get to grow at your own pace.